Michael Melchizedek. Today I'm going to talk about the skull and bones for beginners. This is going to be part 2. We missed part 1. You need to go back. We're going to start off today. We're going to start off in the graveyard again. Breaking down the skull and bones and also breaking down ghosts. Okay, ghosts is another part of the skull and bone community that you need to know about. And the reason why you need to know about ghosts is because these ghosts is what's really going to keep you from coming up out of your grave. These ghosts, they are worse than the serpent. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why they're worse than the serpent because the ghost is always fiending for life. They're always fiending for life. And anytime they see your light on and they see you about to travel, you know, they try to take your life, and they come at you as what we call sex demons. You know what I'm saying? They come at you in those forms. You know what I'm saying? What you make you have what they call a wet dream or something like that. But because really what they're trying to do is to drain the life out of you. You know what I'm saying? Now y'all brothers out there, y'all have a wet dream and shit, and you wake up. You know what I'm saying? You done spit everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Basically, you just had sex with a ghost, and that ghost doesn't stop you from going where you was about to go. You know, they rank in the Skull and Bone organization is honored because they actually stop people from getting, you know, to that door. But they're really not. They don't really bring nothing to the Skull and Bone but that. They're not really builders in hell. They can't really build because first of all, they're stuck between, you know, this world and the next world. They didn't go to the barrier and bounce back like most motherfuckers do. They was limbo for some reason. You know what I'm saying? And well, I know the reason, but we ain't gonna get in that right now. These ghosts though, you got to understand them, and you got that. And the ghost part is the main part. What Freemasonry is really trying to teach y'all brothers. To any one of y'all brothers that's Prince Hall, Four Letter, whatever kind of Nubian, whatever kind of Freemason you is, you need to learn about these ghosts. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way you're gonna become free. That's the only way you're gonna break out your casket. That's what Freemasonry is really about, breaking out of that brick. You know what I'm saying? Breaking out of that casket. That's what Haram or Beef was all about. The Grand Master who's sitting in the casket. You know what I'm saying? You that motherfucking Grand Master sitting in that casket. You know what I'm saying? The widows, you know what I'm saying? You him. So if you ever want to break up out that, you got to learn how about the ghosts. You got to learn about these ghosts. You got to learn how to defeat them. You got to learn what they feel like when they're amongst you. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people think that when I get a sexual arousement, oh, that's not you, that's some ghost. Every time you just chilling, even if you're chilling with your old lady, you know what I'm saying, and you just all of a sudden you just get horny, you see what I'm saying? That's a ghost around you. That's a ghost. And that's what they do. Ghosts, they energy, because they building off the yin. They building off negative energy. That's all they really building off for. So they automatically attracted to anything that's building with the yang. Feel what I'm saying? You sitting there, you building, you know what I'm saying, with your old lady, or you just sitting there building, and you coming up on so much light. I mean, you getting so many waves, you know what I'm saying? You snatching waves out of the Akashic records and all this shit while you up. And then all of a sudden you thinking about sex. That's a ghost close to you. You know what I'm saying? Eventually we're going to be getting into all that, or how to stop that, how to protect yourself from ghosts. You know what I'm saying? Certain things that you have to use to protect yourself from these ghosts. You ain't even got nothing to do with just putting on no apron. Because just because you put an apron over your damn private part, that don't mean that motherfucker ain't going to get hot. You know what I'm saying? You can put ice on the motherfucking apron, and it still ain't going to stop it from getting hot. Because I done had some people do some shit to me with some ice in there, and I was hotter than a mother, you know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, the Skull and Bone organization, like I said yesterday, is an organization, the only organization that's really designed to hold the truth, the history, and the remote control to this planet right here, where we own the inside of this planet. Now, King Satan is another thing I want to break down. King Satan has nothing to do with the Skull and Bone organization. Not a motherfucking thing to do with it. Alright? Matter of fact, the Skull and Bone organization don't even like King Satan. And I'm going to say this again. King Satan is what they call the cherubim, which also has a seraphim in him. He's a good and an evil being that guards the door to heaven. If anybody that passes through that door to heaven has to go through King Satan. Anybody. He is the angel and demon that was placed here to guard that door. That's what he was sent down here really to do. You get into real scriptures, you'll understand that that's what he was sent down here to do. Okay. The Skull and Bone organization, they down here and they want to be down here. They ain't trying to go nowhere. That's why they call it Skull and Bone. They want to be in the graveyard. They want her ram of beef to stay dead. Jubilee, Jubilee, Jubiloon, Greek, France, and England. The three motherfucking rough ham that came over to Egypt and hit the haram of beef, the grandmaster in the head 3 times. Burn them up under the desert in the cactus. Huh? They want you to stay down here. Because that's where they want to be. See? This Skull and Bone organization don't like King Satan because King Satan is the one who let people out. You see what I'm saying? So don't get it twisted and say, oh, all this. Nah. The Skull and Bone organization worships Lucifer. That's what they worship. If I broke that down in part 1, who Lucifer is, go back to part 1, and I'll break down who Lucifer is again to you. Now listen. Lucifer is the serpent, Satan, and the devil, and the ghosts are all 4 different entities, 5 different beings that you need to understand the role that they play. First of all, ghosts. Ghosts are people who have died and did not go out and did not come back in. Because in order for you to come back in, you got to go out first. These are people who are limbo in between, are stuck in the middle. They are ghosts. Okay? These are motherfuckers who are fiending for life again. See what I'm saying? Okay, they stuck here. Them ghosts. They are not angels. So, don't get it twisted. If you see some shit, angels do not reveal themselves to humans in physical form. That's a fucking lie. Alright? Only way an angel will reveal himself to you is in a dream. That's it. Alright? So get that straight. If you see anything appear out of the fucking... It's not Michael. I'm Michael. I'm here. I ain't just appear. See what I'm saying? I manifested myself through a womb. Alright? That's the only way an angel can come through here is through a womb. Cannot just appear out thin out. It don't work like that. Alright. If you see some stuff like that, you need to fucking run. Get some onions or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Cause they trying to get your sexual energy up out of you. They ain't gonna hurt you. They ain't come to do that. All they want is that life. That's all they want. They ain't gonna kill nobody. They really glad your ass living so they can have a chance to get some of the shit you got. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now the serpent. The serpent is the original people of this planet Earth. The serpent was here when God got here and created our black ass. The serpent was already here in the Nakash, which is a reptilian race that's been here for thousands of millions of years or whatever you want to call it. I'm not no ageologist, you know what I'm saying? But I know this earth is old than a motherfucker. And if you read the Bible correctly, it'll tell you that the serpent was already here when God came here. He was already here recording everything that was going down. You know what I'm saying? He was the one really writing this shit. Same shit that we reading in the beginning. This happened, this happened. The serpent people was the ones who was writing this shit down. And God came down and God created Adam and Eve. Well, who else was here then? If God created Adam and Eve, well, who else? Who the fuck talking? Who the fuck writing this shit? And then all of a sudden, a damn serpent pop up in the Garden of Eden. Well, damn, that must have been the motherfuckers who was watching all this shit. That's why he knew to go to holler at Eve. You know what I'm saying? He knew to go holler at Eve because he was watching the whole thing go down. He knew who the weak motherfucker was. They're like the feds do. You know what I'm saying? So this serpent is, you know what I'm saying, is really the brain of the skull and bones. You know what I'm saying? They always been here. They don't really plan on going nowhere. They never here really. Because they get the best of both worlds. Because a serpent, he can travel all the way through the water to the underworld. And he can travel all the way back through the water through this world. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So, you got to understand them. You got to understand Satan, which I just told you about. You got to understand a devil. A devil is somebody who can't move. That's all it is. We got black devils, you got white devils, you got somebody that, anybody that's in their grave and can't break out is a fucking devil. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And once you do break out, you see what I'm saying, you become what they call a disciple. You see? Because now you trying to follow that way, but you still a devil. That's where you get devil disciple. See what I'm saying? And you got to understand these things before you can even try to grasp what I really want to give you. See, but I'm trying to give you what you want so you will learn to want what I have to give. You see what I'm saying? I know y'all want to hear about all this shit here, but really this is nothing. This ain't even really the beginning. The beginning is when you get this crown right here. What you see. This crown. This crown right here. When you start to understand this crown that you see, that's the beginning. That's life. Peace. I'll be back later on today. Probably gonna go back to the Holy Tablet, computers, radios, video games, part 2. Alright, this part 2 of Skull and Bones for beginners. Y'all study, man. Show that self-approval. Hit me up.